Hi guys, and welcome to video 2 of the British Nutrition Foundation week, and it's the healthy eating week, and we are going to be talking about the basic food groups now. So the basic food groups include vegetables, fruit, protein, grains and dairy. So fruit and vegetables, the guideline says 5 a day. But where possible, I would try to get more because some of the nutrition is probably not as good as it used to be. But the only thing I would say is if you have irritable bowel, what can happen sometimes is if you actually have too many fruits, it can actually aggravate your stomach. So I would say listen to what your body's saying when you are eating your 5 a day, and if it starts aggravating, reduce the number of fruits and possibly increase on the vegetables, and just acknowledge what your body's telling you, if that makes sense. So what do fruits and veg provide us with? They provide us with vitamins and minerals. So some of the ones they provide are vitamin C, which helps us have an healthy body tissue. It has a formulation of collagen and it absorbs iron. It boosts our immune system, and it's wound healing, and it maintains cartilage and helps with our bones and our teeth as well. Now vitamin A helps with our normal vision. So obviously I need to increase vitamin A because I've got glasses on at the minute. It also improves the skin, our immune system, and it reduces our risk of acne, and it supports our bones. Now folate is a B vitamin, and it's needed for the red and the white blood cells in the bone marrow, but it also converts the carbs to the energy. So like we were talking before about the energy, about having too much energy, and if we have too much energy, it will actually, if we eat too much, it will go around our waist. So we have to be conscious of how active we are, because our body does actually store it if we eat too much. So it will say, do I need any more energy? And once if you're not very active, then it will actually put it around your waist. And when we put it around our waist, that's when it causes us problems. So it also has fibre. We also have fibre, which helps maintain a healthy gut. We have to make sure that we're conscious that if we are eating a fruit or anything like that, that we have the fibre as a whole. So we have the fruit as a whole, like an apple, because the fibre is actually in the skin, and once you cut it, it actually makes it that you're just eating pure sugar. So be conscious that if you want to make sure that you get the fibre to burn the sugar, that you actually eat the fruit as a whole rather than actually breaking it up. We have potassium, which helps maintain an healthy BP and a normal functioning of the nervous system. So yeah, so it's helping you have a healthy BP. So if you've got trouble with your BP, maybe increase your potassium in it, in your diet. And we eat lots of them. Eating lots of these different varied fruits and veg, which I say try and eat the rainbow, will allow us to keep a healthy weight, and it will keep our low in calories and low in fat. So eating the rainbow, different colours, allows us to have a varied diet. But remember, smoothies are only considered to be one of your 5 a day. Even if you put lots of different kinds of veg in there, once they are broken down, it is still only considered as 1 a day. So I would question whether you want to carry on with these smoothies, if that makes sense. If you don't like vegetables, try grating them and putting them in your meal rather than naturally. So if you cut them into bits, into pieces, and you don't like the taste of it, grate them and add them into different foods, into your different meals, so that they don't stand out as much, because I think some of it is to do with the texture. I know I have a problem with certain meats that I don't like the texture of, and I think some people struggle with that, with the texture of the vegetables. So if you don't like them, or you just don't like the taste, try grating it to make it a little bit easier. Now there are 5 subgroups of vegetables. There's the dark green vegetables, which include broccoli, spinach and kale. And then we have the red and orange veg, which is the winter squash, carrots and orange and red peppers. We have beans and peas, which are the black garbanzo and kidneys, pinot beans, soya beans, black-eyed peas, good band them, aren't they? Or split peas, okay? And then we've got starchy vegetables, which are potatoes, we've got corn, and we've got green peas. Now with the potatoes, I actually have sweet potatoes and I keep the skin on because the skin's actually in the fibre. So when I'm actually eating them, I don't do jacket potatoes. I usually boil the potato, but don't boil it too much, because obviously the more you boil things, the more nutrients come out of it. So it's about keeping it as natural as you can, but obviously having it a little bit soft so that, oh, what was that? That was something fly across the top of my head then. So, and then we've got other vegetables, which are like cucumbers, cabbage, cauliflower and mushrooms. Before I forget, the fruits can be fresh, they can be dried, and they can be juiced, frozen, canned or pureed. Now what I would say about the canned fruits is make sure that you don't get them in syrup, get them in their own natural fruit juice. So, because obviously if you have them in syrup, it's very, very sugary, and that is not going to be helping you lose your weight. So fruits are low in fat and calories, and they are filled with many vitamins and nutrients. Okay. So then we've got the grains. These should only make up a quarter of your plate. They provide you with the fibre what you need, and they'll help you with weight management, and they reduce your associated risk with heart disease and diabetes. The grains contain vitamin B, B vitamins, folate, magnesium, selenium and iron. All grain is recommended, but I'd be cautious of too many grains, and I would consider some gluten-free to reduce the bloating and also to clear brain fog. Okay, proteins, these help build our muscles, and the muscles, bones and food and blood. The protein should be a quarter of your plate. They contain B vitamins, iron, magnesium and zinc. And oily fish contains omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for your heart. Protein can be animal-based or it can be plant-based, or you may want to diet with a combination. So the animal-based is meat, seafood, poultry and eggs. Plant-based comes from beans, nuts, legumes and seeds. Although protein is important for an healthy diet, it can be high in saturated fats and cholesterol, especially the meats. So we have to be careful that we actually don't have too much of a fatty meat. And if we do have fatty meat, i.e. chicken legs with the skin on, we have to remove the skin and make sure that we don't eat the skin. Then we have dairy. Now dairy is essential for our bone health. It also helps us with our nerves, with B12, and it gives us healthy red blood cells. It gives us B2, which releases energy, and it provides our body with protein for growth and repair, iodine, which is important for an healthy nerve and brain function and healthy skin. Dairy is high again in saturated fats and cholesterol, so we need to make sure that we don't have too much of it. I personally would use the full fat, but limit the amount what you have. Fat-free or reduced fat, I've added ingredients to ensure the food tastes good. Okay, so they add other ingredients to make sure that the food tastes good. So if you go for fat-free or reduced fat, I think they actually add sugars. Don't quote me on that, but I know they do actually add other things in, which is actually probably worse than what they have in the full fat. So all I would say is have full fat, but make it smaller quantities. And if you're having cheese, rather than but do it in chunks where you'll have bigger chunks of cheese, grate it. But if you grate it, you're not going to use as much, if that makes sense. So have a go at doing that. Oil should be consumed rarely, and are best either polyunsaturated or monosaturated. But remember, when preparing meals, be conscious of these portion sizes and calories. Any calories not used will be stored around your waist. So reduce the fat, clean cuts of meat, lean and mince. Remove the skin from the chicken and trim fat off the meat. Grill or bake fish instead of frying. Boiled eggs instead of fried. And avoid meat in batter, pastry or breadcrumbs. So I hope that's handy for you. Like I said, if you've got any questions, please feel free to put messages on the post or even message me direct, and we can arrange a chat to see if it's something I can help you with. If you want some support, well, if you are trying to lose weight, or if you want your goal is to lose weight, please feel free to message me and we can develop a plan and do a food journal and see what's going on and where we can make improvements, and what could be stopping you from actually reducing your weight. So I hope you found that video useful, and I will see you on the next one.